Hello, my name is Laura Bolton, and I'm here to introduce 3 online gaming tools for educators. Specifically, my goal is to demonstrate some simple resources for K through 12 teachers that are wanting to introduce, reteach, and review mathematical content, skills, and specifically vocabulary to their English language learners. A lot of ELL students are newcomers to this country, and they need a little extra practice and repetition, more so than their mainstream English-speaking peers when it comes to vocabulary, whether we're in the math, science, social studies, or English classroom. The independent and individual practice that gaming tools and technology affords these students is really nice because it allows them to not have the anxiety of being in a regular classroom setting and helps them gain those skills necessary to re-enter and be successful in a general classroom setting. The tools also allow them to practice their speech and their listening skills in the privacy and confidence of their own bubble. And the components of the game-based curriculum are kind of fun and kid-like and very playful, so that provides a lot of intrinsic motivation because of the reward systems, and sometimes there's points and stickers and things that you can win online. There's a lot of benefits research has found to applying mathematical concepts and integrating technology in with that. So we're kind of tapping into that, right? In the last few years with virtual online teaching and hybrid and the pandemic, I've developed a very healthy respect for technology. It wasn't always my strong suit, but I'm really excited that I've gotten a lot stronger out of necessity so that I could better serve my students. And luckily, a lot of these tools have continued to be valuable even when we return to in-person classroom teaching. The 3 tools that I will be going over with you today are Kahoot, Blooket, as well as Prodigy. So on the spectrum of gaming, you have game-based tools, and then you have gamified tools. All of that falls into the gaming overarching umbrella. So game-based feels a little bit more like Jeopardy. So Kahoot and Blooket are more like that. They're quizzing tools and quick assessment tools, not meant to teach the full breadth of a curriculum. None of this is really meant for that, right? Because we do not want to replace ourselves or instruction and interaction in the classroom. Prodigy, however, is on the other spectrum. It is a fully gamified user interface where when you log in, it looks and feels like a video game. However, the components that are academic play into the tasks that you're trying to perform as the player in the game, that avatar that's trying to conquer that one thing or win the thing or the prize or claim that animal as your own or whatnot. The components of curriculum come into play there, where in order to perform those actions, you have to answer certain questions correctly. All 3 applications are completely free and online. You can use your one-on-one devices, your own personal device, a cell phone. Kids can use their school device. And they are G-rated, so they're very safe for students. There, of course, is a premium fee if you want extra functionality from the teacher's end, typically, but parents, students, and teachers have all the basic tools available to them for free on these websites. There are tutorials and FAQ pages, as well as email support if you come across any technical difficulties. And all of these run on a Macintosh and Windows OS, as well as an Android OS if you are on your own personal cell phone. The nice thing about these tools also is they can run synchronously or asynchronously. So teachers can use this as a fun Friday activity where the whole class works on it together. Or you can do it individually at home, and kids can practice in the privacy of their own home asynchronously at their own pace. Now, remember that no matter what tools we use, they're not meant to replace what good teaching is and what best practices are. So the central purpose in education is still to learn. And these tools are merely meant to support and supplement our curriculum and make it fun for kids and give them that interactive engagement piece that is so important for their attitude of learning and building lifelong learners, okay? It's all about variety, right, and opportunity, opening up a balanced world for our children. And technology is a tool that can improve so many facets of our life, but we have to make sure we're very responsible with it and use it appropriately and in moderation, okay? So starting right now, I'm going to go ahead and go over some of the tools that we're going to use today. And again, this is targeted towards ELL math teachers, K through 12. However, really, it's really good tools for all teachers. So we're going to start with Blooket. Blooket is free. And let's see here. So Blooket and Kahoot are pretty similar. Kahoot came first. So Blooket has a lot of additional functionalities that are free on its site. You can see the two buttons here at the top. There's a login button or a sign up button. I'm going to go ahead and log in. And there is a universal login, so you can use your Google account if you have one. And when you log in here, you can see I created a little quiz, a short 5-question quiz where students can practice, or anybody can practice getting to know me better. I can host it as a game to play synchronously with my class. I can host it on our own and play individually. That doesn't like to screen share nearly as much here. And you can see here, you can discover other Blookets that teachers and other educators in the company have made. Some of them are education-based, like, learning about sea animals, some kindergarten and pre-K concepts of calendars, 3D shapes, classroom vocabulary. So these are ones that are already made that you can use if you're in a pinch, perhaps for a substitute day. There are some favorites. I don't have any favorites tagged yet. And then the history of the games that I might have played with my students. And then here you can actually assign homework to students, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, your create button. I like the user interface in Blooket. You can put pictures that will be the thumbnail to your game, the description of your game as well, and whether or not it's private or public. So that's a little bit about Blooket. The next game that we're going to be investigating is Prodigy. So Prodigy is pretty involved as games go. So it is a fully gamified tool. And let me show you Prodigy. So Prodigy is a game that my daughters use at school as well. So typically this tool is purchased for teacher use and student use within district. But even if your district can't afford it, that's okay, because you can get it for free. Okay, so parents can tap into this. You can see if you go to the main Prodigy page, you can click on the play button and play as a student, or I'm going to go in right now as a teacher. And I'm going to go ahead and click login, and I'll log in with my Google account. And this is my main dashboard where you can see all of the things that I've created. I need to create a classroom here. So as a brand new user, this is what you're experiencing here. You can add students, you can have different classes, and you can pull from your roster. The home page has some cool basic assignments. Maybe you want to do a reward system, a classroom goal, or a placement test, a diagnostic test. This is great for that because it shows a lot of benchmark and growth. You can pick math or English lessons here. So there's my math dashboard. I could also have an English one. Let's see if I go back to home. There are, so here I can add some students, right? Back to the dashboard. So this is pretty much Prodigy on this end. Let me show you the students' end of Prodigy, which is even cooler, I think, because that's the main goal here, right? Trying to get our students engaged and interactive. So when you log in as a student, this is what you're going to see. let's see here. Okay. Okay, so when you log in as a student, you get to choose whether you want to play and you're at home or you're at school. And once you make that particular choice, and you pick, oh, I'm at home or I'm at school, then it asks you, oh, what would you like to learn? And you get to choose whether you want to learn math or English lessons, right? So do you want to do math or English? Since we're talking about a math classroom, we would pick math, of course. And once you choose that, then you get the next page that you would see then would be the what's called the game environment. So here's the gaming environment right here. Looks a lot like your traditional video game, right? So there's my avatar right there, and there's the animal that I'm trying to conquer. Okay. And when you choose what you want to do to conquer that animal or to gain it or to win it over, you get a couple choices of what types of problems you want to conquer and go over in the game. So here, now depending on which type of problem, you might get a different type of rigor level in that. So you have falling stars, shrubbery strikes, supernova. So kind of some cool names that kids might be into. Okay. And so here's one example of a elementary level game or elementary level problem, excuse me, having to do with the number line. Okay. So this is a pretty basic one. I would use this in my middle school or high school ELL math class even, because again, if the math is basic, that keeps things nice and simple for those newcomers with limited vocabulary. However, this is the opportunity for them to learn that English using, some basic math. So that's kind of nice. That's one example of one type of problem that you might encounter in that game. Another type of problem that you might encounter might be even more simple depending on the level of the student. So right here, you can see a nice, simple subtraction problem. It's a pretty clean user interface. It's not very busy, which is nice. And they can use the 1 to 100 table chart if they need to. And then once they get that question correct, yay, that's when the prizes come into play. And what that looks like when you conquer the board, it shows you that, oh, look, your player won. You conquered that little fox animal, which is awesome. And you just got 1,444 points, right? And then once you do that, it also shows you what you can win with those prizes, what the points are all about. So here you go. This is the results page that my daughter likes to show me. Mommy, look at how great I did on this game. I got to level 36 and I just won 20 battle stars each. And she really gets into it. Even my 7th grader is really into it, which is kind of nice. It does definitely resemble a lot of the modern day video games that kids play nowadays. And with those points, they can redeem them for different kind of cool prizes in the game. Which I think are pretty neat. So sometimes you can get little accoutrements and extra wardrobe pieces for your avatar, different shoes, different wands, and animals and jewelry and things like that. So that's Prodigy. Pretty cool game. The next game I'm going to be showing you in more detail will be Kahoot. So Kahoot is something that is a game I'm very familiar with. It's been around, I would say, probably the longest. and Blooket came after that. So Kahoot, if you go to the main page, you can play or you can sign up. I did create a game for you to try out, and there'll be a link to that in the assignment after the references page. So here, if I hit play, I get to this page, which you would just put in a PIN code that's generated after you create the game or hit start on the game. But the teacher is the one that's in charge of that. So here I'm going to go ahead and hit login. If you didn't have an account, you would go ahead and just sign up. So I'm going to log in here with my universal login, my school ID. Okay. Okay. Awesome. So here's my Kahoot. This is my main dashboard. Pretty clean user interface. Over here to the right are the games that I've created before. There's also a Discover section where you can check out all the games that other teachers and creationists within this company have made. Some of them are themed, and you can, of course, pay a little bit extra if you like these sorts of games that are concept and skill based, right? There's a lot of interdisciplinary resources in here, which is kind of neat. Library would be my main dashboard again. A little bit different user interface. So the game that we're going to be checking out here is the math operation vocabulary game. Okay. After your students play for a little while, there is a report that is generated here. You can see that it tells me that my students have played one of these already. They finished it. I can click on that to see the results. I can group students into heterogeneous or homogeneous grouping if I wanted to. And then this is where I can shop for more premium games that cost a little bit more money. Okay, so if I go to the library here and I hit start, let's see if this loads up for us. All right. So my screen sharing seems to be stuck here real quick. Let's see. All right, so here you can see the code to the game that I just started for the math vocabulary. And the way you would enter that would be to go to the PIN code page. You would enter that PIN and then you would get started. There's 20 questions, as you saw earlier, and kids would just play it together. Usually I do it synchronously. And I want you to give that game a try. All right, at the end here, it'll be in the template of my assignment along with the references and the research available for it. I hope you've enjoyed this helpful video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.